Get your cranberry, get your Diet Coke, the official, drink of alcoholics. Have that, no one cares. Remind yourself why you're sober. Remind yourself why you're sober. Remember, if you're really sober, you got to tap out. I'm different from my fellows. Why are you sober? Why can't you drink like other people who are different? Don't get in the argument, get in the acceptance, get in the love. Signs your husband might be a meth addict. Welcome back to the Seano Show. I'm your host, Seano McFarland. We have a very special guest today. I don't know how we got him. Somehow you figured out a way. Today, I'm your host and guest, Mr. Seano Live. I'm going to be talking about the Bermuda Triangle, recovery, some tips for the holidays, some things that are important to me, things I've learned, things I practice here at Shell. And I'm looking forward to sharing these with everybody. I just first off want to say, I want to thank everybody. We've gotten a lot of nice feedback, some nice things. It seems we're helping folks out all around the world. I just want to let everybody know how much I appreciate them. My producer here, Brother Keith, the best. Thank you. This guy, start crying thinking about how he shows up, because we show up here at Shell. Only thing I ask you to do is spread the love, follow us, pass it on, whatever you can. But no, please, it means the world to me that you listen, and it's good. So that's how we're going to start it. And also because I always tell the truth. It's the easiest thing to remember, as Mr. Mamet told us in Glengarry Glen Ross. Keith and I just finished up an episode with Keith Ferrazzi, and I get exhausted afterwards because it's a lot of preparation and a lot goes in. And my brain was saying, I don't want to do this today. Let's just postpone it. And I'm not going to do it, of course. It's just because I'm scared. I'm scared. But as everybody knows, my famous saying, I'm the biggest scaredy cat in the room, but I'm a triple black belt and showing up. So I'm just going to go with it because that's what I do, and we're going to get at it. So I'm going to say that to you. Now it's not a secret, because if you got a secret, then, well, guess what? You're in trouble. No secrets here at Shell Avenue. Okay, so let's talk about the holidays. Tricky time. Here's what I got down, some little tips for people, right? Now, the holidays, they can definitely be high risk for relapse and recovery, right? Due to the stress. Uncle Ernie, we all got an Uncle Ernie. He's got some crazy ideas, Aunt, codependent Cindy, the whole family gets together, a lot going on, maybe people drink, and it's just like, you get a case of the fuck it's, I'm out of here. So the Bermuda Triangle is Thanksgiving, which is coming up in 3 days. Christmas, right? Home for the holidays, family, traditions, right? Maybe you were drunk that year. Maybe you didn't show up. Maybe you didn't show up for your kids, right? A little bit of an ouchie. Maybe you were locked up that year, right? Maybe the family said, we love you, don't come back that year. And then, of course, New Year's, right? I got sober on the 5th of January, had to make it happen, So here's a couple things that might help people along the way. Number one, create a plan, okay? Set boundaries, right? Decide in advance where you're going to go, what gatherings you're going to attend, how long you're going to stay, what to do if you start to feel uncomfortable, okay? Here's the thing. If you go and you get the itch, you get nervous, right? You can leave. You don't have to stay. Matter of fact, you have to leave. Okay? You have to leave, okay? Always have an exit strategy. No matter what, always have it, okay? What is going to happen if I get triggered? What's going to happen? Where am I going to go? Who am I going to talk to, okay? Prepare a way to leave a situation if things get too tempting or overwhelming. I love this. Have a code word with a friend, or any way to step outside if you need a breather. Reset if you have to, okay? This is something, I got sober in 1987, and this is, my sponsor taught me this. Bring your own non-alcoholic beverages, okay? If you have to really be there, okay? My get down was cranberry and 7-Up with a little lime. Nobody knows, nobody cares. Okay, just trust me. You think they care? Like, oh, I'm the person. No one gives a shit. Get your cranberry, get your Diet Coke, the official, drink of alcoholics. Have that, no one cares, okay? Bring your own, right? Alcoholics, right? Like nicotine people, they like a cigarette. Have the little drink in your hand. It makes you feel comfortable. Your brain thinks you have a drink. You just know the difference, okay? All right? So bringing your own also ensures you have something that's obviously alcohol-free, okay? I know I said the first thing is really important. This is number 3, buddy up. Keith and I talked about it in the show before here. Don't do things alone. Buddy up, have a pal system, okay? Stay connected. Attend gatherings with a supportive friend who knows the situation, or have someone on standby you can call if things get tough. Always. We were old school back in the 80s. We didn't have where you could text somebody, I'm getting jumpy, man. There's like free champagne here. There was just like, hey, you have to find a pay phone, right? Put the quarter in, you call your sponsor. Hey, I'm at the thing. No, text, be in support. Know what's going on. Once again, no surprises, okay? Stay connected, all right? Obviously, lean on meetings, lean on your recovery community. Lean on people, okay? I remember early on, the holidays were hard because it was just so many years. Either I didn't show up, I was too drunk, and memories come creeping in. Remember now, we're gonna create new memories. Don't go in the past, new sober memories, okay? A lot of places in town have marathon meetings. Go to meetings, be of service, bring a dish to a thing, get ahead of it, okay? Stay around meetings, patch in before you go out. Hey, I want to just share today, I'm going to go to this thing, I'm a little nervous, okay? Obviously, prioritize self-care. That goes without saying. Okay, I'm going to end on this one. Remind yourself why you're sober. Remind yourself why you're sober. Remember, right? If you're really sober, you got to tap out. I'm different from my fellows. Why are you sober? Why am I sober? Well, there was a part physically that I was dying. When your liver at 22 years goes, brother, you really think you're going to fucking, okay? Put another drink in there. We're going to let you know how bad it really is, okay? The other thing is I was tired of being a child. I was tired of blaming the world. I was tired of watching other people live life that I knew I should be living. And so I had to make the declaration and wave my hand and say the most beautiful words I've ever said. My name's Seano, I'm an alcoholic. Why can't you drink like other people who are different? Don't get in the argument, get in the acceptance, get in the love. I've got this thing. It is what it is. People can do what they want to do. None of my business, right? How they can drink, whatever they do. None of their business, right? It's okay. All right? Just remember that, okay? Practice mindfulness, meditation. I just did this before we out here. I went outside, had a little smoky poo, Parliament line. I'm not perfect, just whatever, okay? And I said a prayer. And I said, okay, Keith is done. I have to do my show, get centered. My feet are on the ground. I'm with my buddy. I feel safe here. Okay. And now it's new. Bring that energy into the party. Bring that energy into the room. And there we go. Now, where do we go? Let's have some fun here. I made Brother Keith laugh a little bit because we're not a glum lot here at Shell Avenue. I get calls from people, I've never done drugs before. How do you know, let's just say the wife's calling. How do you know your husband's a meth addict? Okay. Great question. Okay. Here's a couple things. All right. Signs your husband might be a meth addict. Okay. This one, you know what? Check. If you got this one going on, let me know because he's definitely okay. If you catch him in the bathroom and he's masturbating for 3 hours of male pornography, most likely he's a meth addict. Okay. This guy, I don't know what it is about him. He loves to go to Home Depot 3 a.m. Got to fix things, got to do things. 3 a.m. though, okay? You all see the meth addicts down Sunset Boulevard, the Home Depot. They're all, buying all kinds of interesting. You know what? I don't know. He's kind of a lazy guy. He's not organized. In the last week though, he's rearranged the garage 4 times. I want to pay attention to that one, okay? We call this back of him. We call that Bobby Brown John. I love Bobby. I saw him at the fight. I don't think he minds me saying that. We call that Bobby Brown John, right? And when you ask him about it, honey, you're chatting, what's going on? Oh yeah, too much caffeine. Okay. So the signs the person might be a meth addict, those are sure. I'm sure you can add a few. You can do a lot more on that. That's just some fun stuff, but that's just okay. All right, here we go next. I've written down some things in my 37 years of being sober, some things I've taken from colleagues that I think will be helpful. Now is new, okay? Now is new. What does that mean? Okay. You do something, you're sharp with somebody, you're going in memory, you miss your old girlfriend, you yelled at somebody, maybe you did something, a little shady, you stole it, whatever it is, okay? Don't go into the horror stories. Start your day over right now. Wake up right now. Now is new. Doesn't matter. You're a little tired, a little depressed, you didn't work up. Now is new. Start over. Now is new. Powerful exercise. Changed my life. Do it all the time. You can start your day over anytime. How great is that? Something's happened. It doesn't matter. Start your day over anytime. I start my day over 30 times a day. It doesn't matter. Start your day over anytime. All right. A lot of people know one of the specialties I do besides alcoholism, drug addiction is sex and love addiction. What is sex addiction? Is it really? Is sex addiction because I like to have sex so much? Love addiction, is that a thing, Seano? I mean, love, can you really be? You know what? I'm going to read you the 12 characteristics of SLA. I'll maybe talk a little bit about them. You can Google 12 characteristics of SLA, S-L-A, pull them up. A lot of times when I hand that sheet to somebody who I think might be having this particular illness, a lot of times they break down crying. A lot of times they say, I had no idea this exists. And they go, I've checked 12 of these. I've checked 9 of them. So I'm going to read them and I'm going to talk about them a little bit. And once again, you can just Google these, pull them up. Don't recommend you use these as stocking stuffers though. Okay. But boy, is it a good one. All right, here we go. Number 1, having few healthy boundaries. We become sexually involved with and or emotionally attached to people without knowing them. Wow. Number 2, fearing abandonment and loneliness. We stay in and return to painful, destructive relationships, concealing our dependency needs from ourselves and other, growing more isolated and alienated from friends and loved ones, ourselves and God. Fearing emotional and or sexual deprivation, we compulsively pursue and evolve ourselves in one relationship after another, sometimes having more than one sexual or emotional liaison at a time. We know that person. I'm all of these, okay? I'm emotional reading these because I've said this before. I was in a prison in Arizona and I was in solitary confinement, and I'd rather be that than deal with what I'm reading to you now. The worst kind of pain is waiting for somebody to tell you're okay. Because like alcoholism, you just go down to the liquor store, you grab a drink, it's cool. This, you're waiting for the text. You're waiting for the I love you. You're waiting for the I miss you. I can't wait to see you. And if that doesn't come, now we got a real problem. And so what happens when that doesn't happen, you keep it going with somebody else, keep the drug alive, one after another. Keep it going. Number 4, so great. We confuse love with neediness. We confuse love with neediness, physical and sexual attraction, pity and or the need to rescue or be rescued. Number 5, we feel empty and incomplete when we are alone. You know what the greatest thing about recovery for me is? I love being alone. Do you know how many concerts and plays I go to by myself now? I had a complete inability to do that. We feel empty and incomplete when we're alone. Even though we fear intimacy and commitment, we continually search for relationships and sexual contacts. This is the big one. Number 6, we sexualize stress, guilt, loneliness, anger, shame, fear, and envy. I'm gonna read that again. We sexualize stress, guilt, loneliness, anger, shame, fear, and envy. We use sex or an emotional dependence as substitutes for nurturing, care, and support. I used to say all my pain, all my fear, all my insecurities went right down through my penis, okay? And what sex and love addiction is, I tell people, you're a thief because we steal from people. It's a magic trick. You get in there, you want to present yourself a certain way because you just want them to love you. It's neediness. Oh God, right? And you promise things and you love bomb them. And then they give you that and then you fucking pull the carpet from underneath them because you found somebody else and you got what you wanted to. You steal from people. We don't steal from people. I don't steal from people anymore. No magic tricks, okay? Because I love myself. 2 sad people, 2 junkies, smoking the same crack pipe with each other. That's what sex and love addiction is. Don't hurt people. Don't steal from people. Okay? One day at a time. Okay? That's a good one. Number 7, we use sex and emotional involvement to manipulate and control others. I'm going to read that again. We use sex and emotional involvement to manipulate and control others. I just talked about that a little bit. Number 8, we become immobilized or seriously distracted by romantic or sexual obsessions or fantasies. I've seen guys here that are world-class athletes. Okay? World-class physical specimens, Olympic gold medal winners, Super Bowl champions, that if they don't get the text or know they're cool with their chick, are in the worst pain in the world. They don't know how to control it. It is unbearable to them. Once again, it is the worst pain in the world. Recovery from sex and love addiction is learning how to deal with that pain. Not only how to deal with that pain, why is that pain there? Why is that attachment there? Why am I giving this stranger so much, currency? Why am I letting somebody define me? Why am I letting somebody hit me? They have to hit me on the magic wand and I'm okay. Because it's amazing. I've seen it. It's incredible. I'll have a guy here, suicidal, ready to take his life because some girl's not saying hello, might like somebody else. Oh, that's the worst one. And they're in session and they'll get the message. We're cool. I love you. I'll see you in half an hour. Oh, fuck. Like a kid going to Disneyland for the first time. Completely gone. The dopamine shifts. So that's why it's a drug. That's why it's a drug. Okay? Number 9, we avoid responsibility for ourselves by attaching ourselves to people who are emotionally unavailable. We want them, and I'm going to get this more number 12 magically. We want them to be somebody they're not because we have this idea that they're going to be saved. They're going to save me. Nobody can save you. And they're broken from the gate. But you know what? You couldn't see they were broken at the gate. You couldn't see the red flags because you at Irwan were running all your jive and hustle and they laid it right in front of you, but you didn't see it because you were too fucking high trying to close them. That's why when you're sober, okay, and the yoga teacher who's got all these incredible sayings, right? And you're listening more and more, okay, but you find out her car's broken down and you find out she's in debt. And you find out she's got 3 other kids she hasn't talked to. But you miss that, right? Because you're like, oh man, this girl's so beautiful. She's a yoga teacher and she knows all these things. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. The flags are there if you're sober to them. Otherwise, good luck. Because if you need to change people, change people. Say that again, if you need to change people, change people. Okay? I always tell people, right? It's like buying a house, right? You don't want a fucking fixer-upper. Okay? You want turnkey. I always say to the guys, give me your toolkit. All these people walk around these big, huge toolkits. I'm going to fix them on and get this to them. It's so selfish. Why not have somebody who may be ready to play with you a little bit, who's got a little bit of maturity, who can dance with you? Okay? All right. Gosh, darn I've had those toolkits. Boy, they were a good set I had at one time. Okay. Number 10, we stay enslaved. Oh man, to emotional dependency, romantic intrigue, or compulsive sexual, enslaved, slave to admirers, slave to the fantasy, who we are to each other, slave to, we're going to go to Coachella and it's going to be amazing. And we're taking pictures and everybody thinks I'm cool and all this, but we know what's going on, right? There's a party who thinks she doesn't like you. Well, you can't say that in the Instagram photo. And she looked at that guy, maybe a little bit long. Then you screamed at her, right? I'm talking more about trauma bonding, right? And then she left for a while, and then you pleaded with her. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'm just jealous. I'm insecure. And then you guys are bonding, right? Then you feel bad. Then you buy her like $400 worth of merchandise, which you kind of really can't afford. Don't tell anybody that, right? Because you're telling everyone what a fucking big shot you are, but you got 12 different credit cards going on because you want to keep the addiction alive, right? And then you're driving back and everything is good and you're holding hands and you're looking at that and you think she's going to spend the night maybe and she's going to do something, tell our friends. And she goes, drop me off. Maybe we need to take a break. Oh, fuck me. The old I got to take a break situation. And now you're on suicide alert. What happened? You're with the wrong person. You're in the fantasy. You're in the intrigue. You have this idea, but you missed it at Erewhon, ladies and gentlemen, right? It's on you. You got to take responsibility. Right? If you're nipping away when you're meeting the person, that's on you, okay? All right, number 11. To avoid feeling vulnerable, we may retreat from all intimate involvement, mistaking sexual and emotional anorexia for recovery. To avoid feeling vulnerable, we may retreat from all intimate involvement. Okay, this is somebody who's more on the other side of they're terrified to actually put themselves out there, okay? So they'll actually shut themselves down saying that they're taking care of themselves. No. That's not what it's about, okay? I want you out in the world. I want you to learn how healthy courting. I want you to learn how to meet somebody. Maybe it is scary. Maybe you just start with holding hands. Maybe you learn about touch. But if you're thinking that I'm not going to see anybody, I'm not going to date, I'm just going to be like that, you're the other way around. Flip it, okay? Get out and experiment a little. I know it's scary, but try a little bit. But you know what? Because we both know you want love. You want some touch. You want to feel cared for, right? You want someone to say, I miss you, have a nice day. Come on, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. We got to be honest with ourselves. Come on, okay? This is it, number 12. We assign magical qualities to others. We idolize and pursue them. And then we blame them for not fulfilling our fantasies or expectations, okay? Right? We assign magical qualities to others. We idolize and pursue them. And then we get funky and blame them for not fulfilling our fantasies and expectations. What are magical qualities? I talked a little bit, the yoga person. I always give this example, right? Because you know what people love to throw? And I try not to laugh. I don't laugh because I understand it because I've done it 1,000 times, probably more embarrassing for myself. The client sits down here, all excited. I think I met the person today. And they throw out the word soulmate. So I think I met my soulmate today. Oh, tell me about this, okay? I'm having a little bit of fun right now. No, but tell me, right? Okay, Seano, I was really hungry and I was driving down Lincoln Boulevard, okay? And something said, go to El Pollo Loco. I never go to El Pollo Loco. I don't really like I'm more of a California chicken cafe. I thought, just go to California. And I sit down, it's kind of grimy, right? And I'm doing my thing and I look up and I see a girl across the way. And Seano, she's got a David Bowie shirt on. Fuck, okay. You know I love David Bowie. I'm going, that's interesting. She looks at me and I kind of look at her, right? And I say, do you mind if I come join you? Okay. Yeah. And we're talking. And this is where it gets crazy, right? She's drinking a Diet Coke. You know I love Diet Coke. And she got a lime in her Diet Coke, right? And I'm going, fuck. Okay. She loves David Bowie. What's your favorite David Bowie song? She's Heroes. I'm going, I almost started crying. I can't fucking believe it. And then she's sober. And I say, well, how long is she sober? 19 days. I know, but you're sober 10 years. I know, but like she's really mature for her age. I say, oh, that's great. Well, she doesn't have a job really. Okay. Well, do you know where she lives? Well, I don't know. I think she might be at a shelter. I don't know. I think she's working hard on it because she came from really good school and a lot of things happen. And well, okay. Now, we assign magical qualities to people, okay, right? We want them to be somebody because maybe they did great things. We think they can show for us. We think they can love for us, okay? That's kind of a funny story, but I hear 1,000 different versions, from El Pollo Loco to Saint-Tropez to Irwan to being backstage somewhere. But most part, it's never rooted in truth. And what happens is we have an idea of what our mate should be, and we cast that person. We cast them in this role and we put the uniform on them. Actually, sometimes we actually tell them how to dress and how to talk. And maybe we send them to school and we're going to fix them up. Maybe how to wear their makeup. Maybe we get their hair done. Oh, Big Daddy, you got to get their boobs done for them. Maybe a little Brazilian butt lift. Get them right. And they're looking good and they're popping and shit's working. And we guys are cool. But sometimes she talks and you bring her out a little embarrassed sometimes, right? And this goes for women with guys, right? Right? And then she does something really stupid, maybe. You give her the American Express card. Sweetie, go get a manicure on Main Street. Get something, right? And she goes, oh, love you. Thank you, right? And then she comes back with a Prada purse. I'm like, babe, what's this? Oh, I thought you said go out and take care of myself, right? And I just bought it. Well, how much was it? It was $10,000. Right? Because she doesn't understand these things, how hard you work in money. Now you're fucking livid. Now you're calling her a stupid bitch. Now you're calling her a whore. Now you're calling her like, what the fuck? Now like, who the fuck are you? And she says, don't you ever talk to me, motherfucker, that way. Now she's getting into her inner ghetto. Now we're really getting down to who we are because now we're dealing with causes and conditions. Now the trust is broken. Now we really see. And she goes, you know what? Fuck you. I'm out of here. And you know what? She throws the purse at you. Part of you wants to take the purse and get physical with her, but I probably should do that right now. You have a little bit of restraint. She fucking leaves with the car you bought her. But now you're fucked. You're thinking to yourself, God damn it, the lease is in her name. I'm stuck on that. Now that car, now you're like, oh, fuck. Now she's leaving. It's 2 hours gone by. You haven't heard from her. Oh, fuck. Guess what? You text her and your text comes up green. It's not blue anymore. The honey bunnies, the emojis aren't there anymore. And now you're in panic. Now you're in fear. Now you're insecure. You lost it because you got these magical qualities about her. But she was that person the whole time. She didn't do anything wrong. You groomed her, brother, sister. You groomed that person to be this version for your insecurity. Because you know what? You didn't have the balls, the guns, the strength, the maturity, the sobriety to meet somebody at your level. So you go down a little bit and you steal from the local village. That's what we're doing, right? Once again, stealing. And you have these magical qualities. Now you're in real pain. And now you beg her to come back. And then maybe you guys do the dance for a little bit, but it's rocky. Now it's always that kind of shit. But you know what? You're codependent and insecure. And you said, you know what, honey? That was wrong of me. You don't actually feel this, but you tell us because you're so fucking desperate. Buy 2 purses next time. What was I thinking that time? Guess what? She might even fucking do that just to teach you a lesson. Now, the question is, do you want to keep this dance going on and on? Do you want to keep smoking the crack pipe of magical, this is person? Or do you actually want to do the work and learn about courtship, learn about authenticity, about meeting somebody? Because you know what? Pick on somebody your own size, as they used to say. Pick on somebody your own size. So that's that. How about that, Keith? Yeah. You know, sometimes you give Seano that saxophone, man, I'm just going to fucking riff it, right? Any generational trauma. I always say this. I'm unbelievably grateful to be sober almost 38 years now. I'm grateful that I earn my living helping people. People know I love my work. Thing I'm most proud of is any generational trauma with my son, Dylan Luke McFarland. And as I've said, you know, not just because he's my son, because if there was struggle, if there was pain, if there was conflict, I would be sharing about it. Because the best way to help you is tell you what I'm going through, perhaps, right? That's not been the case because me and his mother, Nicola, we've always provided safety for him. Now, safety, what does safety mean? Safety is kindness and love in the house. Safety is learning how to say no to your kids. I know that means something to kids. We talked about that once. Learning the power of just saying no, and always knowing where your kids are at. Sometimes I'm shocked that I'm talking to parents, well, your kids are struggling, right? Where are they at right now? Well, I don't know. How do you not know where your fucking 13-year-old is? Like, there's the problem right there. Why are they running the show? Why are they dictating the terms? And the other thing that we did is I always say there's 2 parents. When your child brings home a rock, it's just a goofy, ugly rock with dirt and maybe it's got stems growing on it. There's one parent goes, oh, Jesus Christ, get that out of here. And there's other parent goes, oh my God, Dylan, what's up with this rock? What do you like about this thing? You show interest, you show everything, you show interest, And you make it a beautiful thing and it becomes a lesson. And the other thing that I really believe in, surround your child with greatness. Surround them with the arts, surround them with education, surround them, and there's always a way to do it. YouTube is a great university, Now, I'm going to go more into detail about that, But my son does not live in shame. My son, by the way, he's not worried about me drinking. He's not worrying about, man, this sucks this Christmas because dad's not in prison. You got to stay sober so there's no incidents in your life happening, I know maybe your child's 10 years old and a lot of it you were drinking. Doesn't matter anymore. Now is new, right? Now is new. Make this a sober year, and then make it another sober year, What kids need to do, they need to feel safe. They need to know that their parents are there, that it's a respectful place. That is the number one thing, Now, if a child is raised in a family, where they feel responsible for their parents' needs, because see, that's what happens. You don't take care of your kids, they feel responsible, They do not learn to recognize their own. Dylan need to take care of us. That's our job. He need to take care of himself, This child, this is what happens, They're going to repeat that pattern in adulthood. The magical thinking, that's a dynamic for a lot of the basics for that. People are acting out because this thing happened, The child will repeat the pattern in adulthood and is more likely to end up in abusive, codependent relationship. In a story. They often grow up to be people pleasers, and will wonder why no one appreciates what they do. Why don't they appreciate me? Okay? Break that dynamic. Okay? That's what ending generational trauma. Now, I know a lot of people say this, and I wrote this down, okay? If you want to break the cycle, you have to do something you've never done before. Okay? I know you come from a family history of this is the way we do things. Okay? Right. It's up to us to break the generational curses. I love this part. This is really important. Right? When they say it runs in the family, you tell them, you know what? And this is where it fucking runs out. Well, this is the way we do it. You know, this, we rob, we whatever, we don't kind, we talk to our women this way. No, not anymore. That maybe worked for you. Godspeed, not it. Not going to do it here. We're going to end it. You got to be sober to do that, though. You got to be abstinent to do that, though. You can't do this if you're nipping, okay? And what more important thing is to raise your children and give them something that you didn't have, so they make it safe, okay? Otherwise, guess what? They're going to nip on this couch. I don't want them on my couch, okay? I want to help them applications for school. I want to go to their high school events. I want to see pictures of my, oh man, when parents send me pictures of their kids at their prom and I look at them, they're so beautiful. I want the pictures of the prom. I want to see their first swimming lessons. I want to see them going to Disneyland. I don't want them on the couch struggling. I don't want them on the couch because they've been cutting themselves. I don't want them in an abusive relationship where they're getting beat up. They don't know how. Because that's what was modeled to them. Modeled love, modeled light, modeled how much you appreciate your partner. You know, I used to do this with Dylan. It's so simple. Simple things he does. You don't need money. It doesn't have to be Mother's Day. Let's get a card, you know, and let's get a card. I'm going to write out things I love about your mother, right? Oh, great work ethic. Makes the best breakfast. Has art, whatever. It's a long list, okay? Just write that. And then he sees me appreciating his mother and kindness, okay? And then we have a moment together. And guess what? He does that with his employees. He does that with his girlfriends now. Little Post-its note, little simple thing, but it's a gesture. Little things, little gestures, little markers, okay? Go out of your way just to say thank you, okay? But I don't want your children on my couch, okay? I want them living out loud. That's how you end the generational curse. You know, if you go to my house in the morning, everybody knows I read a bunch of things. One of the person that, great teacher is Eckhart Tolle, okay? Most people know him. Once again, you want a master class? Just look at his quotes. Google some of it. Watch some of his talks. They're free. This is one of the ones that I love that he wrote about. And he says it just so right on the money. You know, when you complain, high complainers out there, right? You make yourself a victim. Leave the situation, change the situation, or accept it. All else is madness. Once again, when you complain, you make yourself a victim. Leave it. Just get out, go, right? Change the situation or accept it. All else is madness. What I always say here, nobody can blow your light out unless you give them permission, right? Think about that, okay? Right? Recovery. What we do here is ruthless self-examination, okay? You want to change the person they don't want to change, okay? And you start complaining about them, okay? Well, at some point, it's on you, okay? It's on you. You're in the abusive relationship. You're staying with some. The job sucks. The boyfriend sucks. The traffic sucks. You feel bad about your body, okay? Well, if you keep telling everyone your sad story, a lot of people will listen to it, okay? But you're boring people with you. Do something. Otherwise, you speak victimizese, okay? What I always say, the world doesn't need to change. I do, okay? Who's the only person I suffer from? Seano McFarland, okay? So how do you do that, though? How do you change the situation? How do you walk away from something? Well, you got to believe that, you know what? You did everything on your part, okay? And you got to move on, okay? And you got to take responsibility. Why, you know, I remember this early on. I have so many great stories about this. My wife, Nicola, when she was at Yale, her senior project, they went with a fellow classmate to Africa to study, you know, to study different parts of Africa. And her girlfriend met a nomad there, right? And part of the, you know, they were taking photography, and she really fell for him, right? And they kept traveling around, and they came back to the village, and she was distraught, and the nomad wasn't there. And she was like overwhelmed and in pain and crying. And she was telling her story to Nicola. And Nicola said, listen, the person's a nomad. That's what nomads do. They go away. Okay. You can't get mad at the nomad, right? Okay. That's when you got to take responsibility. That's what they do. Figure out the nomads in your life. Okay. If you meet somebody and they say, I'm prone to crime and I do different things and they get arrested again, that's on you. Okay. Take full responsibility for what you're being at. Okay. If you keep overeating, okay, and you look in the mirror and you don't like yourself, maybe one day try not to eat bad. Okay. Once again, Brother Tolle, when you complain, you make yourself a victim. Leave the situation, change the situation, or accept it. All else is madness. How wonderful it is to know I just got to work on Seano. And by the way, I always have a part in it, okay? I always have a part if I really want to look deep. Okay, if I really, really want to look deep, I have it, okay? Look within yourself, get right with yourself, and that's that, okay? We're going to close with the affirmation because I believe in affirmations. It's a little simple one. And, okay, lastly, on this part, forgive me, you know how I go. Remember this, things you can always control, okay? I don't want to hear about the other person. I know that they did this. No. I know, but you keep saying it though. That's on you. Here's what you can't control, okay? Your words. You control what you say. You control your words. Your actions, what you do. Stay, leave, change. Stay, leave, change, right? Your attitude. Okay, this changed my life. Attitude is everything. Attitude is everything, okay? Michael Beckwith, who came on the show, he wakes up every morning and said, today's going to be the best day of my life. Keith gets messages from me at 5 a.m. Welcome to the greatest Monday ever. Every time. Hello, my beautiful. It's energy. What are you putting out in the world? Okay, attitude. You go, oh, God, a fucking another day. Oh, God. Guess what? You're a victim. Guess what? Opportunity just passed you by. Guess what? Maybe a little bit more to go to happy hour that day because you've been complaining about the whole day. You can control your perspective, your focus, your effort, and your energy. Remember how I said I came in here? My brain was telling me I was tired. No, I was scared. But I worked hard at knowing the difference. Hopefully my energy's been strong here, okay? My energy is great. Your energy is great. Don't listen to what your brain tells you. Your energy is great. I don't want to hear your bullshit. Here's the affirmation of the day. I clear out negative energy and habits holding me back from expressing my true self. I let go of the blockages and thought patterns that are keeping me in a place that no longer serves my soul. I draw in happiness with every inhale. I draw in happiness. Come on in, happiness with every inhale. Woo! I smoke the happiness pipe, not the crack pipe anymore. Thank you for listening. Godspeed. Make other people's lives easier. It's easier to live life that way. All right. Thank you. The Seano Show is a production of iHeart Podcasts, hosted by me, Seano McFarland, produced by Pod People and 28th Ave. Our lead producer is Keith Kornelek. Our executive producer is Lindsay Hoffman. Marketing lead is Ashley Weaver. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.